Hello, this is Josh Nelson, Internet Marketing Consultant. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about search engine optimization and SEO strategy for local business. There's a lot of information on the internet about search engine optimization, even more information about search engine marketing and internet marketing, but very little of it, first of all, is specific to local businesses. Your local plumbing contractor, roofing contractor, hair salon, restaurant. And today's video is really going to talk about what you can do as a local business owner and what strategies you can implement to make sure that you're showing up in the organic section of the search engines. So I've really taken my knowledge and my expertise that I've developed over the last 10 years and the strategies that have worked well for my clients and getting them in the top of the search engines, kind of condensed it into something that I feel like you, the business owner, can take and implement in your business and start to see the same types of results. So there's really two key components of search engine optimization that you need to be aware of. The first is on-the-page optimization versus off-the-page optimization. Those are the two main distinctions that you need to be aware of and be able to understand so that you can make the right decisions and do the right things. So on-the-page optimization are the things that you can control. And that's what I'm going to be talking about for the most part in this video. Those are the things like your title tag, making sure that you have a clear and concise title tag that speaks to your keywords, making sure that you've got the correct anchor text. And I'm going to go into detail on that stuff, but that's what you think of traditional search engine optimization, right? Putting the metadata and all of that sort of stuff. But there's another critical component, and that's off-the-page optimization. What a lot of people don't realize is that off-the-page optimization really has a more significant bearing on your placement than even your on-the-page optimization. And what off-the-page optimization is it's inbound links. It's other pages or other websites that are pointing to your website with a hyperlink. And the way Google's algorithm works, in order to determine who's going to be in spot 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., is it wants to be sure that it serves the most relevant web page for the keywords that were entered. So even if you've got a greatly optimized web page and your next door neighbor, your competitor, has the same exact great optimization, the way Google decides who's going to get the first spot versus the second spot versus the third spot is which one has more credible inbound links. And that's what off-the-page optimization is all about. The books and the research that I've read indicate that about 30% of placement is going to be on-the-page optimization, and about 70%, a full 70%, is what's happening off the page, or how many inbound links do you have, and where do those inbound links come from. So that's the first thing I want to make sure that you guys are understanding, is that there's a very clear distinction between on-the-page optimization and off-the-page optimization, and the fact that the links are really what determine your placement. With that said, Abraham Lincoln, was once quoted as saying, "If I had 5 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend 3 of those hours sharpening my saw." So you want to make sure that you've got all of the on-the-page optimization in place so that as you start to acquire links and as you start to get those inbound links, you're optimized and you're showing up for the right words. So the first part I'm going to talk about is what you need to do with your website and with your pages in order to ensure that you're optimized in a way that Google can put you in there for the words that you want to be able to show up for. So the first thing that you want to look at from a on-the-page optimization perspective is your title tag. And your title tag is really the little spot, the little blue link that's at the very top of any web page. So if you were to go to your computer right now and you typed in Josh Nelson IMC, you'd see up at the top right-hand corner, it says Miami Internet Marketing pipe Miami Search Engine Optimization, or SEO pipe Josh Nelson IMC. And that's what I'm talking about when I say title tag. It's up at the very top left-hand corner. You want to make sure that you've put that title tag in with the right keywords, the keywords that you want to show up for, not for your company name. So if I went to your web page right now and I typed in, let's just use an example, Tony'sBodyShop.com, up in the top left-hand corner, you're probably going to see Tony's Body Shop, your full-service body shop. which is in the most cases what what web designers do. They put their company name in their title tag, which makes sense intuitively, but Google doesn't know that Tony's Body Shop does dent repair and car painting and auto body and collision repair services. So it doesn't know to really list you for those words, because Google, one of the main things they look at is that title tag. So one of the things you can do that's very easy is go in and update your title tag. Of course, you want to have thought through what keywords you want to show up for. So in your case, using the body shop, you might want to put in there Miami Body Shop, pipe, collision repair, pipe, Tony's Body Shop. It's because you can use up to 64 characters in the title tag, and you can really try and optimize your site for a couple of different keywords. Usually no more than 3, but you can really start to optimize your site by putting the specific words that you want to show up for at the beginning of the title tag as opposed to the end, and definitely as opposed to not listing your keywords in the title tag at all. The second key component that you want to make sure you have on your page is an H1 tag. And an H1 tag is that first block of text that shows up on your page, and you want to do it in the HTML. I'm going to assume that maybe you have a little bit of HTML knowledge, or you have access to a web designer that you can say, hey, listen, Mr. Web Designer, I have a couple things that I'd like to do on my site. First, I want to update my title tag to include these words. And my H1 tag, I want it to say Miami Body Shop, or your Miami Body Shop, or whatever keywords you're trying to optimize your page for. And if they don't know what you're talking about, title tag and H1 tag, I would suggest you get a new designer. And also, if you have access to the codes, if you have a little bit of HTML knowledge, this is something you can go in and do very easily in just a matter of minutes. It doesn't take a lot of time to make these updates. The third thing I'm going to recommend is in the body. So you've got your title tag, you've got your H1 tag. Below that, you've got the text. Tony's Body Shop is a fantastic auto body repair service located in Miami, Florida. You want to make sure you use keyword-rich text, and make sure you toss in the locations as well. We're a full-service body shop, providing service to Miami, Kendall, Palmetto Bay. Use some of the actual cities that you guys service in that body, because it's going to reiterate and really re-emphasize the fact that, okay, this page is really about a body shop in Miami. The other thing you always hear about when you talk about search engine optimization is the meta tags. Oh, I need to make sure that I've updated my meta tags, because meta tags are very important. And that's true to an extent. And it doesn't really have nearly as much bearing on the search engines as it did maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago. But you do want to go in and update your meta description, and that right below your title tag is your meta description, and that is what you're telling Google your page is about. And Google uses that a little bit for spidering you, but more importantly, it's what it shows in the search engine results as the description of what you do. So if we typed in right now Miami Body Shop, inevitably there'd be a series of listings. The very top listing might say Miami Body Shop, pipe, South Florida auto body repair. Below that is a description under every search engine results page. So that description really is your meta description. So you want to add some information in there that talks about what you do and include those keywords that you're trying to optimize for. Full service body shop in Miami, Kendall, South Florida, etc. But also write that in a way that's not only written for the search engines, it's also written for the human eye, because once you are optimized and showing up page 1, spot 3, for instance, it's going to be the real reader of that listing that determines whether they want to click on you or not. So you want to write it in a way that's compelling, but also has those keywords in it. The next thing that you're going to want to do is add some anchor text. And the lingo is anchor text. But ultimately what that is, it's a hyperlink with the keyword that you're trying to optimize for, pointing back to the page. So in local, what I've done and what I really like to do is, if I'm optimizing for Miami Body Shop, I'm going to add Miami Body Shop to the title. I'm going to have it in the H1 tag. I'm going to have it in the meta description. I'm going to have it in the body And I'm also going to have a link down in the footer. And the footer is that area down along the bottom of your site where you might have home, about us, our services, our location, contact us. Put another line just below that that says Miami Body Shop, because I'm trying to optimize for the word Miami Body Shop. And I'm going to highlight that and make it a link back to Tony's Body Shop, for instance, in this case. And that anchor text also tells Google, okay, this page really is a Miami Body Shop, and we want to make sure we've got them in the listings showing up for that word. So those are the main things that you're going to want to do on the page. The only other suggestion I would have that I've found that really has a strong bearing is creating a sitemap, an XML sitemap, and uploading that to Google and Yahoo and Bing. And again, this is one of those things that might sound complicated, but it's really not. You can go to google.com and type in sitemap creator, put in your URL, and there's probably 7 or 8 web pages that will generate a sitemap for you immediately. And it's an XML file. And then you can just go to google.com, sign up for a Webmaster Tools account, and that's a simple process. Just type in Webmaster Tools into Google and you'll get the link. And from there, you'll be able to log in and upload that sitemap to Google. And now Google will have every one of your pages to add to its index. So I found that the combination of these things, and it's really kind of simple, are going to have a pretty quick and effective impact in getting you to show up for the keywords that you want to show up for. Now remember, off-the-page optimization is extremely important too, but from a local perspective, depending upon which city you're in, depending upon the population density and the amount of companies that do what you do, I found in a lot of cases just doing the on-the-page stuff that I just described, I can get companies in the search engine result page for their keywords within a matter of months, without even really doing a lot of additional work on the off-the-page optimization stuff. So again, just to kind of reiterate and kind of hit the high points, you want to update your title tag. And if you don't do anything else from what I'm suggesting today, and you just go in and update that title tag to whatever the main keyword that somebody would type if they were looking for your service. So if you're a dentist in Boca Raton, change your title tag to say Boca Raton Dentist dash your company name dash your name DDS, right? Or if you're a kitchen company, just go in and update the title tag to say Fort Lauderdale Kitchen Cabinets, for instance. That's gonna already really improve your chances of showing up for that keyword on the search engines. But then also, if you can, do the H1 tag, add those keywords into the body of the body text of your site, add the anchor text into the footer, and upload upload a sitemap to Webmaster Tools on Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and then also update the meta description and the meta tags on your site, and you will be extremely well optimized for the words that you're looking to show up for. Well, I hope this has been informative. I hope it's been an eye-opener. If you have any questions or if you'd like additional information, feel free to visit me online at www.joshnelsonimc. That's Josh Nelson. IMC is an internet marketing consultant.com. Or you can reach out to me directly via phone, 786-325-6761. And I really appreciate you taking a couple minutes on the video with me today.